Okay, I had a question in my last class about the magic ring, or the magic circle as I like to call it. One of my teenage students wanted to use it. She thought it would be easier for some of her projects, which it is. It is easier to use for hats, stocking caps. Sometimes if you're doing a round pot holder, it's easier to use. And it's also easier on like stuffy legs when you're trying to make sure there's no hole at the end of their feet or their hands when you're making the end of their foot. It also closes off stuffy bodies pretty well. So when you don't want that hole to show, you don't want stuffing to come through it, the magic ring works a lot better, because when you do the slip knot and you start crocheting with the slip knot like this, like blankets and everything starts with, when you chain 4 and then, you know, join it together, there's no way to make that smaller. So depending on if you don't have enough stitches going around it to close it off or to fill the center, or if you do have enough stitches and your yarn just is really loose, you'll still end up with a hole, you know, in the center of your project. So the magic circle prevents that. So let me show you the way I do the magic circle. It's one of those things where I've noticed some people do it differently. There's a lot of different ways to do it, sort of like how people hold their yarn and different tensions, but this is what I find is the easiest. When I'm doing my slip knot, I wrap it around and I pull through. Well, I do the same thing with the magic ring. There's the ring. Okay, that's the ring right there. So with it around my fingers, I take my needle and I just pull that thread through like that, and then I hold that right there. There's my ring, here's my tear to pull with, and here's my yarn in the back side to work with. So there's my ring, there's what would be my hoop, and you see there's no knot right there because I'm holding my ring. Then I'm able to just crochet like normal. And I'm just going to put some double crochets in here real quick, so you can see what happens when we use the magic ring. And if I'm doing a stocking cap, I'm probably going to start with 4 or 5 double crochets to make that inner circle. So there's 3. Let's get 2 more in there real quick. Okay, so there's my double crochets, there's my ring, and here's this tail. So on this tail, I'm ready to go to row 2, and I need to join over here. I'm just going to take this tail and I'm just going to pull, and as I pull, you'll see it closing, and it's closing, 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 and then I can join in a slip stitch right here into this first double crochet. There, I'm on second row. I've got my first row circle, but if you'll notice, there's no hole in the center because I've pulled it tight with that thread. That is what makes the magic ring so awesome right there, is that there normally would be a hole left there, but I can pull that and tighten it as much as I want. So that's how I do the magic ring. That's what I feel like works best. That won't come undone. You can weave in this tail and your project is secure right there in the center. So let me go over it one more time with you, just so you can see what I do. Here's my yarn. I literally just wrap it around. So there's my circle. While it's still on my hands, I just go needle under this one and pull that through and grab it with my right hand like I would my normal project. There's my tail to pull with. Here's my yarn to hold on to, and there's the hoop it makes. There's your pull string. And you can just crochet from there, just as if you had a knot in it, just like normal. And crochet on through, and there's your ring. Okay? So feel free to watch this as many times as you need. Feel free to ask any questions if you need to. Share this out there with everybody. And that is the magic circle, or the magic ring as it's called. So I hope that helps and answers a lot of questions on that. Happy crocheting, and we'll see you next time.